Shalom.
Shalom.
Alright, check the feed real quick. Yes, a little like that yesterday too. Alright, we got the con. Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
Before we get started with this lesson, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem,
Akakwadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect that's out here laboring in our truth and sincerity. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
All right, brothers from Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming back with another Lord willing, edifying lesson to feed the nation of Israel. All right, the elective nation of Israel. All right, as we know, we're in the Day of Atonement right now. So just wanted to stay in the spirit and just feed the elect, man. All right. So as you see the title of the lesson, okay, we want to go into the mark, of the Lord and how it differs from the mark of the beast. But the mark of the Lord pretty much is what's going to exempt us from judgment. And just going into what the mark of the Lord is. All right, we're going to start here in Ezekiel 9 and 4.
So Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right. Can you go into that word mark, Baba Shah? As we know, the Hebrew word for mark is the wa, but just to get the definition of it for edification's sake.
This is the word for mark in the Strong's Concordance in Strong's H8420. The wa, it says desire mark. It says mark as a sign of exemption from judgment.
Mm-hmm. Mark of is more.
You can explain.
Yeah, the mark of form of exemption, because that's what is going to separate the elect from the rest of 2/3. So when the angels begin to be sent throughout the earth, as we're going to read from verses 5 and 6, all right, to execute the judgment of the Lord for those that aren't worthy of salvation, that's going to be the separating factor, man. The angels are going to see those that have that Torah, man. Okay? Because only the elect is out here sighing and crying for all the wickedness that's being done on the earth, man. The scriptures say, who shall stand up for me against the evildoers? And that's only the elect, man. Okay? Matter of fact, you got something?
Right fast.
God.
This is Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9. Except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Okay? So the Lord has set a mark upon a remnant of our people that will be sighing and crying, that have their senses refreshed to be able to discern that the life of this world is in odds to the will of the Lord. It's not operating in its proper way, right? But 2/3 of our people, the Lord has not set a mark upon them. The Lord has not given them the eye salve to see, right? So 2/3 of our people are going to ultimately be destroyed.
That's right.
That's why, as we see, we understand the focus is the elect. Okay, those are the ones that will receive that mark.
Yeah, because we know the prophecy, Zechariah 13 verses 8 and 9. Okay, we know that 2/3 of the nation of Israel is slated to be destroyed, man.
Yep.
So you gotta look at that on the big scale, man. Only one out of every 3 Israelites are going to be delivered during this great destruction the Lord is going to bring upon the earth, man. So this is why we're so fervent about being on point with the doctrine, man. All right, being on point in this walk, because the Spirit of the Lord, all right, has reserved, all right, a remnant of these people that the Lord has chosen but have disobeyed Him and that has rejected Him, so they gotta go. All right.
I'll read this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This is a biblical commentary for Ezekiel 9 and 4. It reads, it jumps to Ezekiel 9 and 6, but it says here, this shows that it was a protective identification to protect them in the coming invasion, and also to protect them spiritually for the age to come. It shows that even though judgment comes upon an entire nation, the Most High still knows how to mark and identify the righteous.
Ooh, matter of fact, you set me up perfectly. Okay. This is 2 Peter chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemn them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. And as you just read in that Isaiah, okay, except the Lord left a remnant, we will be like as of Sodom and Gomorrah. Because what was the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah and those neighboring cities got destroyed, man? Is because it was all out, rebellion against the Lord, man. It was wickedness that was taking place, man. And so because of those deeds, the Lord, all right, he rained fire upon those 5 cities, man. Okay? And that was supposed to be an example of what not to do, all right? What happens to the ungodly, man? It says, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, for that righteous man dwelling among them in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. And that's essentially the lot that we're in today, man. Because according to Revelation, the 11th chapter, all right, this literally tells us that this is spiritual Sodom, man. All right, and just as Lot was witnessing all type of abominations and wickedness being done, we're in that same state in this time right now, man. All right, being vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Every day we gotta witness some wicked shit going on, man, and it pisses us off because we can't in that judgment, we can't advocate for true judgment. We have to bear it, man. And that's vexing to our spirit, man, because we want a righteous kingdom, man.
Yeah. This world has literally put our people into a pitfall and snares.
Right.
And to have the awareness to know that that's how this world is operating.
Mm-hmm.
That's why that scripture spoke of that you had called for in Ezekiel 94.
Mm-hmm.
Those that are sighing and crying for the abominations done in the midst. We see with clarity how wicked this world really is. And how this world is literally operating in a way that's not conducive for us. It's set up for us to fall. It's set up for us to go off. It's set up for us to be against Yahweh Shem outside. And we don't want to be here.
Yeah. And this is why it seems harsh to hear us say the things that we say, but we wish judgment to come upon our people because they need it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's like you have a pet. All right, that pet has a terminal illness, and so instead of making it suffer, you put it down. And that's essentially what 2/3 need to be happening to them, man. They need to be put down, man, because they're sick, man. Isaiah 1. Yeah, they got rabies and then some.
Right.
They got tumors, cancer, they got everything. Every disease, every terminal disease, Jake is just, he's gone, man.
What is it?
And what does it say? Death is better than continual sickness, man.
Exactly.
So they need to be put out. But the point of, why I brought this out, because as you mentioned in that commentary about, was it exemption? Can you read it again, Baba Bashar? Because it's going to tie in with verse 9, which is the point.
It says, it shows there was a protective identification to protect them in the coming invasion and also to protect them spiritually for the age to come. Mm-hmm. It shows that even when judgment comes upon,
John 17.
It said even when judgment comes upon an entire nation, the Most High still knows how to mark and identify the righteous.
Right. So that we need that exemption from that judgment the Lord is going to bring, because it's stated that it's going to be a remnant that the Lord is going to deliver. Okay, so it's nothing for the Lord to deliver the elect out. So this is why, as we're praying for the destruction, we're praying for the destruction knowing that it's a possibility that we could be delivered out of that. And this is why we're striving to do what we're doing. So this is 2 Peter 2:9. The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations and to reserve the unjust until the day of judgment to be punished. All right, and so that's what we're seeing taking place is the lots being set. Okay, Lord willing. All right, we have the mark until the end, because we have the mark, we have the Torah now. All right, but it's about keeping it until the end. Like the scripture say, he that endureth to the end, he shall be saved, man.
Man, I want to add to you right quick, bro, because like you said, we have that, right? The scriptures speak about the kingdom of heaven is within you.
Right.
Right. The scriptures speak about let no man take thy crown. It's like we possess it already. But what did Yahweh Shai tell Peter? That Satan has desire to sift thee.
Right.
As wheat. Satan is going to try and come against us.
Right.
But in the following verse, Yahweh Shai prayed that Peter's strength be, his faith be strengthened. You know?
Yeah, even, when you read that verse in the NLT, it says Satan has asked permission, right,
Yeah.
to sift you as wheat.
Yeah.
So he's asking, hey, let me go out here and try him and see if he's really about what he says he's about.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me test his integrity. And just like the brother was saying, Peter's faith had to be strengthened, man. And Yahweh Shah prayed for all the elect's faith to be strengthened.
Well,
You want to read on?
okay.
John chapter 17. Can I start at 14?
You got it.
John 17 and verse 14. Red letter Yahweh Shai speaking. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. What's going on?
Yeah, you can read again, Baba Shah.
John 17 and 14. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them.
Because he said he's given us the word. So he's given us the blueprint on how to attain salvation, man.
Right.
Which is why I said we have the why now. But at the end of the day, whether we be chosen to keep it until the end, that's what we're striving to prove. Lord willing, we are of the elect, man. Go ahead.
And the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world.
Right, because the world hates it, because this message is only for those souls that are slated to be translated to the new world. All right, that the world after this one, man. So of course, when this message is being said and speaking against the world that we're in today, and these people's spirits are tied to this world, they're not for it. This is why when they hear America's going to be destroyed, Esau is going to be put in slavery, they don't like anything that's going against the construct of the kingdom that their spirit is tied to, man. So that's why they're going to come against this, man.
And that word world is the same word from John 3 and 16, where it goes into that cosmos, being that harmonious arrangement. It's also talking about that government. So the government, the governing bodies, the way of life, the customs, the laws that this place is governed by, it doesn't jive with our spirits, man.
Right.
But these people, their spirits are given over into this world, man. So that's why they're going to, like the priest that may mention, they're going to continue to fight and push towards that, man. Hold on to it with their life.
Right, and that's going to be the ultimate reason why they take the mark of the beast. And they're going to make their allegiance with Esau, man, because they're tied to this place, man. But the Lord said he called us out the world, man.
Yep. Verse 15. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. They are not of the world, even as I am not of the world.
Right, and how are we going to be kept from that evil? Because we're going to have that mark of exemption on our spirit, man, in our foreheads, man. All right, your pineal gland, the names of the Father and the Son is written in your forehead, man. All right, so when the angels go through and do what they do, man, they're going to see that, hey, no, he's one of the Lord's, man. Don't touch him. Protect him. And this is what's going to pretty much protect us throughout everything. When you read chapters, like Job, the 5th chapter, all right, we're going to be saved from the famine. We're going to be saved from the wild beast. All right, we're going to be saved from all manners of destruction. The pest tells you in Psalms, I forget where it's at, but how the pestilence is not going to come nigh unto us, man. We're going to be protected from all that. And that's all due to the what, man?
God, there's something right quick.
You got it?
Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Right, and that's what's gonna make us the most desirable people in that day, man. All right, here it is. Jake is trying to, place their value on the values of this world, and that's what makes you desirous because you have all the money, you have all the clout, the status, the whatever. That's not gonna mean shit when the society break down, man. All right, a true high value man in that day is gonna be a man with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man.
That's right.
And that's who everybody, men and women, are going to want to be around. They're going to flock to you, all right? But only the ones that the Lord is going to want to save is the ones He's going to allow to be around you, though, man.
God. You got something?
You can go ahead. I'm gonna get this definition.
Back in John chapter 17, in verse 17, it says, "Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world."
Right, so the Lord has separated us from the rest of the world with this word, man, with this truth, man, okay? And we have been made holy now, man, all right? And through that separation between us and the rest of the 2/3, man, we are moving different. All right, we're on a different accord versus what the rest of the world is on, man. All right, and that's what is going to pretty much begin to have us stand out as we're starting to see that separation being made now, man. All right, people are noticing, you know, how we're moving, and they're like, yo, we're not all concerned with the fucking election.
Right.
All right, we're not bugging out as, you know, we see, you know, society getting worse, the cost of living is getting higher, things are getting harder, but we're not perplexed. We're not complaining like these people are, man.
Right.
We're good because we know Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah is with us, man.
May I get something right quick?
Yeah.
2 Corinthians 5:20, I'll read it in the NLT. It says, so we are Hamashiach's ambassadors, right? As the scripture said, he has sent us into the world, right? We have a task, we have a duty that the Lord has bestowed us, as we went into the lesson earlier this week about how we're the Lord's general contractors. We've been given a task to aid in the building of the spiritual temple, right? It says, Yahweh Shem Shai is making his appeal through us, right? So those that are sighing and crying for the abominations that are done in the midst, that's the Lord's Spirit placed on those men to do that, right? As you quoted, who will stand up against the workers of iniquity, Psalms 94:16. It says, we speak for Hamashiach when we plead, come back to Yahweh Shem Shai. And when we sigh and cry for the abominations, that's that plea that's being made, man. Because we see that the world, the course of this world, is walking contrary, and Jake about to fall off a cliff with this world, man. They're about to crash out.
Right.
Jake is literally one step away from crashing out.
Hey, Jake is them crash dummies you used to see in the commercials in the car that's probably hit the wall, man. You don't even realize it, man.
Yep.
You know, because one thing that you got to think about when you read that is they said that we're ambassadors for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, because here it is, like I said, we're not bugging out seeing all these things taking place, and that's what's going to draw people to us, because they see the faith that we have in our power. That's going to make people believe in that day, man.
Right.
Because as we know, we got a lot of people that's going to have the spirit of Thomas in that time, man.
Yep.
To where you have to actually see it, and that's what them 11-hour servants are going to be, man.
Exactly.
And so when they start seeing brothers, you know, walking with that protection, that's what's going to be the click in them. Oh, he was talking about, you know, Yahweh Shem Shah. I see the Lord's dealing with him. I need to be with him. You know, men and women are going to be like that, man.
Exactly.
You know.
Yep. Jumping back to John chapter 17 and verse 19, it says, and for their sakes I sanctify them, and for their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth.
You speak on it.
Gone. I'm going to read down to verse 20. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word. Okay? So these individuals have been sanctified. They've been set aside with that mark, that dawah, okay? The mark of exemption from judgment, okay? And it came through the truth, right? John 8:32, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Because in this case, everybody is enclosed into a prison, where it's just you're just serving out your time until you face the death penalty.
Yep.
Right.
Bound to the system. Bound to this world, man. And what the truth has done is set us free to where our minds realize, like, look, this world ain't really what it's making it seem like. Because the Lord, when you get to understanding the Lord behind all this, that's really what sets your spirit free. Like, look, this is why we need to rely on Him.
God. I wanted to just you said something that was on point. You said that Jake is gonna start to like see, you know, the truth. They're gonna see brothers that are moving in the spirit, and they're gonna see the works of the Lord, and they're gonna believe. It's a big why that's rooted in Jake's spirit, that's gonna get answered in these times to come. You know, those that are those 11th hour servants.
That's right.
Right. Those that are going to believe, the elect.
That's right.
You know.
Because there's a lot of people that you may not either realize that has been listening and watching, people that we know that it's going to take for that to happen to be like, oh shit, he was right. You know, so it's going to be a crazy time, man. You know, but we just got to keep the faith.
So back in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right, and that's the like we said earlier, the signification of the elect, the ones being separated from the others, because the ones the Lord is dealing with is going to be calling out this bullshit, crying about how wicked this life is, man. You know, if you're not complaining, then you ain't in the spirit, man. The spirit of the Lord not working with you, man.
You're a part of the problem.
Exactly.
Right.
Majorly part of the problem.
Yeah, but that goes back to the house of Daniel, right? When they were on that first escape from Saul, you know,
David.
House of David, House of David, House of David. But it was talking about those 400 men were pretty much men who were. Actually, let me get. I don't know what you
Where is that?
Let me see. Since 2 Samuel.
You're talking about the ones that was on the run with him, right?
God.
Hey, what's spiritual about that? The history you go into about that, because those men were fully following behind David because they understood that David was a man of the Lord, man. You know, so that's a good example of what we're talking about, because that's what's going to be happening in these times, man. Because when you think about that period of time, all right, you had the ones that had their allegiance with Saul. So anybody that was pledging their allegiance to David, you were getting put to death. They was coming for you. So the fact that all those men pretty much, you know, they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna go out. We're gonna be in the wilderness with you. We're with you no matter what." Yep. That shows you that those men believed in what David believed in, man.
That's right.
They followed him because they understood that the Lord was dealing with him.
Yep. And that order is being restored in these times.
Exactly.
And we see the persecution that's being mounted up against the house of David.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Lord willing, we be a part of the elect, because the elect, that governing body, is comprising of the rebuilding of the house of David. You read in Amos 9 and 11.
That's right.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 22 and verse 2. It says, "And every one that was in distress, and every one that was in debt, and every one that was discontented, gathered themselves unto him, and he became a captain over them, and there were with him about 400 men."
Right. So going into that, right, we're in that same state of being what? In distress, right?
Mm-hmm.
In debt, discontented, right? And what we're doing, we're gathering ourselves unto Yahweh Shai, man.
Mm-hmm.
But just, you know, paralleling that to that Ezekiel 9:4, you know, where it speaks about a sighing and crying for the abominations that be done, right? That was the same spirit that these men were in when they went to follow after King David, man.
Yeah, they seen Saul on right,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they could tell through the spirit that the Lord was raising David up.
Yeah.
Just like how we see in this time, man. Because look, we see our apostles and elders, man. They're moving the right way, man. So the Spirit had led us to follow after these men because we could see that Yahweh Shem Shai has set them up versus these other camps and their BS, man.
Right.
You know?
We're not Hebrew Israelites. We're Israelites.
That's crazy.
You don't have to keep the name. You call them whatever you want. You can have sex on the Sabbath.
You could link up with different denominations of religion, and even though we don't believe we don't believe the same thing, we can still come together and be in unity. That don't make sense, man.
It's madness.
It's Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 5. "And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity."
Right, and that's what's going to happen once the Lord sanctions these death angels to go ahead and start getting busy out here, man. All right, because when you read when you read the chapter before this one in Ezekiel 8, all right, pretty much, you know, the elders was being exposed through a vision that the Lord was showing Ezekiel of the wickedness they was doing, man. You know, the idolatry and everything else, man. So the Lord sees all that. Mm-hmm. So all these other Jakes out here, you got Jakes and GMS that's fronting like they believe for real, man. Like I heard today from video, you got Jake that follow GMS, but then trying to add the Book of Enoch with that, bro. Like, niggas is weird, bro.
It's crazy.
Like, why, if you already know the doctrine for what it is, why are you trying to add more stuff onto it? Because this truth
Teach what you were taught.
is layered, bro. Like, you can't never get bored. So why, here it is, you can never get full off of what the Lord has put in front of you, and you want to add more to your plate, bro. It's crazy.
Man, itching ears, man.
That's exactly what that is, man.
But I wanted to get this. You made mention of Ezekiel 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to read these last two verses. It says, Ezekiel 8:17. Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is this a light thing to the house of Judah, that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger.
And that is not what 2/3 of our people are doing. Our people are wicked as all hell, man. The men and the women, man. You know, science projects, all right. Drug dealers, gangbangers, whores, you name it. Bitches, they niggas and bitches. That's the essential of what we see has become of our people, man. And you think the Lord is pleased with seeing that as us being His chosen people, man?
Absolutely not. It says, and they have returned to provoke me to anger, and lo, they put the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury. Mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in mine ears with a loud voice, yet will I not hear them.
Right, because our people have been adulterers, man. All right, just like when you see all these videos of these men catching their wives, stepping out on them. Most of the videos now is in the act, and they try to cry and flip. The Lord, He's not hearing that, man. All right, that's what's going to happen when the Lord begins to judge our people. They're going to be in that same sentiment as those women that get caught up, man. All right, begging for forgiveness, and the Lord's not hearing that, man. Because one thing the Lord does not play about is you giving His honor to another God, man.
Right.
The scriptures tell you that He's a jealous power, man. And this is why we said the elect are the only ones that's given the Lord the due the reverence that he deserves, man. You know? You got Jake out here literally telling you that Yahweh Shai is not worthy to be worshipped. That he's just another angel, man. That's bullshit, man. Because the whole reason of why we're keeping the Day of Atonement, all right, number one, because it's in our laws and we're rehearsing the righteous acts, but the main reason why we do this is in remembrance of what Yahweh Shai did, that sacrifice that He did for us, man. So for any Jake out here saying that stupid shit, talking about the Lord is not worthy to be worshipped, you ain't in the truth, man. You definitely don't got the Torah, man.
Man, that's a lack of fear, man.
Exactly.
It's Ezekiel 9:5. Again, it says, and lo, it's like, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark.
Right. So all those that don't have the Torah, all right, they're going to get the mark of the beast, man.
Exactly.
Because the scriptures tell you you can't serve two masters. So if you're not worshiping the Lord, you're worshiping Satan, man.
Right.
And everything that we see going on in the world today is the Lord literally drawing that line for our people to pick a side, man.
Exactly.
You know, and a lot of Jake that's been perpetrating. Once this thing gets real out here, man, they're gonna choose who they really believe in. You're gonna see a lot of our people side with Satan, man.
So yeah, I'm looking up the precept for you real quick.
That was verse 6.
I'll finish it up.
All right.
Ezekiel 9:6. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Right, because we know, according to I believe that's either Second Timothy or Second Peter's, where it says that the judgment is going to begin at the house of the Lord. All right, so Jake specifically that know the truth, they're going to get touched, but ultimately all Jake is going to get touched before the Lord open up on the rest of the heathen, because the time of Jacob's trouble is the Lord pouring out His anger upon His people first before he gets those heathen, man.
Exactly.
You know. So just to add to that, to show you the Lord is not a respecter of persons, man. This is a commandment of us, man. 2 Chronicles 15:13, that whosoever would not seek the Lord power of Israel should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. So there's no excuse, man. If you're an Israelite, all right, you're supposed to be worshiping Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, in spirit and truth.
Right.
All right, and so what we're going to see, all right, those that are not slated to have that mark of exemption, you gonna get murked, man. The Lord's gonna get with all you niggas out here, man.
That's right.
I actually got a precept, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 55. It says, "And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways."
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not a matter of, you know what, man, maybe they were misjudged. No, the judgments of Yahweh Hashem Shai are righteous. Okay? For 2/3 to maneuver the way how they are, here it is, you're beaten down, you're impoverished, you're disenfranchised, right? You have no ability to attain rest, and the Lord has made a way to give you clarity of the plight that you face, and then for you to spit at it, because that's basically what Jake does. They spit at the Lord, right? As the scriptures speak about in Zechariah, they turn the shoulder, right?
Yep.
You know, so the judgment that the Lord is going to pour out on 2/3 of our people is due.
They literally say that, was that Job 4:7? Who has parents being innocent?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so all the things that the Lord do is righteous. So when the Lord judges these niggas, it's on point. All right. When you see a baby getting shot by a stray bullet, you see a nigga get hit by a Mack truck, you see somebody drown, that's the Lord judging them because they were wicked, man.
Yeah.
And these judgments are just going to increase more and more. So this is why the Lord is literally horror in our spirits now. So when we start seeing these judgments take on a mass scale, we're not going to feel bad for these things. The Lord literally commanded us, pray not for these people.
Right.
Okay? I want to add to you real quick on what you said. This is the Song of the Three Holy Children, chapter 1, verse 4. It says, "For thou art righteous in all the things that thou hast done to us. Yea, true are all thy works. Thy ways are true, and all thy judgments truth." You know, so just further the point of what Talon said, man. All judgment that the Lord does to somebody, no matter how gruesome, it was justified, man.
Yep.
God, if I could real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This is exemption in the free dictionary. Now, when you jump down to the synonyms, it says exemption, immunity, impunity. These imply special privilege or freedom from requirements imposed on others. Exemption implies the release or privileged freedom from sharing with others some duty or legal requirement. So, going back to, Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, if you're not accepting Yahweh Shai, right, you have to be held responsible to those legal requirements of the law, man. Right? Going back to, those who received that mark of exemption, they're being freed from these imposed punishments, these imposed judgments that are required for the rest of 2/3, man. Or for 2/3, man.
There you go, Bruce.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, Revelation, the 7th chapter, gives us clarity as to the importance of the elect being sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Matter of fact, I'm going to just grab it right quick. Because the brother went into that definition of exemption, the impunity, right? Revelations 7, straight to the point.
Read it from the top, down 3.
Come. Revelation 7:1, it says, "And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree."
Mm-hmm.
And those 4 winds are speaking of the impending doom and destruction.
That's right.
"And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads."
That's right.
That's that the what?
Mm-hmm.
So that sealing of the elect is the exact reason why this world is still existing, man.
That's the only reason. That is the only reason, bro. Because look, the Lord still has souls that He needs to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the moment that we see the RFID chip mandated, we know by that point the Lord, now this is it. All the elect is sealed. So now it's time to get the ball rolling, man.
Right.
You know.
God. You got something?
Did you want to finish this up, or?
You read verse 6 already, so now we can go to Exodus 12 and read verse 7 and jump down to verse 13, because pretty much what we're seeing, as you mentioned in Revelation 7, about how the Lord, you said he's holding the judgments back because you got to think about it. We need that exemption from the judgment because this is literally what the Lord did in ancient Egypt, man.
Yeah.
All right, when he sent plagues upon old Egypt, we're seeing him bring plagues upon this Egypt again, new Egypt. All right,
That's right.
and so that final plague is when the Lord went through, which we know that spirit, that death angel was literally Yahweh Shai, and he was going through and smiting all the firstborns of those that didn't have the blood on the doorpost, man. And when you go into that story, you gotta realize too that it was Israelites also that didn't, all put blood on their doorpost, man. And so when the Lord sent, that death angel through Yahushua, Israelites got affected by that too, man. And this is essentially what we're doing now with the truth, is putting that the blood on our spiritual doorpost, man. All right, because Yahushua, he shed his blood to deliver us, man.
That's right.
You got it, bro.
Okay. So Exodus chapter 12 and verse 7, and it reads, "And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorpost of the houses."
Right, and then just when you think about it, the blood was from a lamb, right? It's the blood of the lamb that we need to protect us in this time, man.
It
Matter of
reads,
fact, could you break fast just to add to the brother priest's point? Could you jump up to verse 5?
okay. So Exodus 12 and 5, "Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year."
That's heavy because Yahushua was that perfect lamb,
Right.
the perfect sacrifice, like it,
Was that 2 Peter, or was it 1 Peter 1 and 18?
First Peter chapter 1 and it's not 18.
How's it go?
So I'm gonna misquote it.
How's it go?
How Yahushua was that lamb without blemish.
First Peter 1:19.
19?
19.
Okay. Salaki. This is First Peter 1 and 19. It says, "But with precious blood of Yahushua, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was ordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you."
Right, so that lamb without spot, without blemish, right, being parallel to the time of the Exodus, man.
That's right.
Right, so his blood is giving us that protection from this coming death, man. Like it said, it's being manifest in these last times for you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that understanding is being made widely known and understood in these last times, so that believers can get that blood on their doorpost, man.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point you said about the understanding, because we understand the significance of what that blood represented for us in these times, man, because we need that to be able to be saved from this destruction, man, because Jake, as I said earlier, takes lightly of what Yahushua did for the nation, man. So that's why we know that his blood didn't cover them, man.
Got it.
Because if you really understood the significance of what Yahushua did, then you would take this truth more serious than what you see a lot of our people do, man.
Exodus 12 and 5, "Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep and from the goats, and you shall keep it up until the 14th.
No, that's pretty much the point. I just wanted to make that connection in verse 5.
Jumping down to verse 7. "And they shall take of the blood and strike it on the two side posts and on the upper doorpost of the houses wherein they shall eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall eat the..." You want me to jump down?
Yeah, jump down to verse 13.
Exodus 12 and 13. "And the blood shall be to you for a token upon the houses where ye are.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be upon you to destroy you when I smite the land of Egypt."
All right, and that's spiritually happening today. All right, when the Lord begins to bring that judgment this final time, okay, we're gonna need that spiritual blood, the Tawah, to have the Lord pass over us this second time, because you gotta remember,
Man.
New Egypt, second Egypt, whatever you want to call it, we're gonna be exited from this place too. You know. So this is when we get in the kingdom, we're gonna have a new high holiday for this Exodus that we're gonna currently experience. So just like during the time of Exodus, when we're reading about this, all right, Yahweh Shem Shah, let it be known unto our people that look, if you don't want that plague to hit you, put that blood on your doorpost, man. And that's what we're heaking the warning, man. We're hearkening the warning, man.
And the message is being disseminated through the prophets.
Exactly.
The Lord has set up leadership in these days to disseminate that word to the masses of his people, whether they were to hear or forbear.
Yeah.
Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter.
Exactly. I want to read this in the NLT. It says, but the blood on your doorpost will serve as a sign, marking the houses where you are staying. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. This plague of death will not touch you when I strike the land of Egypt.
Man, just touching on that, bro. The plagues are growing.
Hell yes.
The scriptures speak about that in 2nd Ezra 16. If I could grab that right quick for you, Doc. These plagues are going to continue to grow worse and worse. And it's no going back.
So I was saying even greater evils.
Yes.
Yeah, shall increase, man. And we seeing that, man.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16. You can speak on this, priest. 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 37. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Right, because when you watch a woman as she's going into labor, them contraction pains, as the baby gets closer and closer to the time of delivery, those pains get closer and closer, man. The contractions get closer. So that's what we're seeing, like Quan Wam just said. Those plays that we're seeing and we're reading about, they're getting worse and they're becoming more frequent to where it's like, disaster after disaster, event after event. The Lord is touching this place quicker, harder.
They done, what is it? Just like you had the second school shooting?
Like a couple days after.
A couple days after.
It was somebody was going up and down the highway somewhere shooting people too.
See? Like all these celebrities just been dying. Like, bro, it's been like one every week for the past couple weeks now, man.
Yeah.
Right.
At least.
Yeah. So
hey, evils and only evils, man.
Yep.
Hey, people's lives are being affected more and more, but this shit getting real out here, man.
It's getting hard. Verse 39, it says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth.
See?
And the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Everywhere you look, it's some sorrows, it's some hardship that people are experiencing, and yet Jake is so stiff-necked that they won't acknowledge the only begotten Son is their Lord and Savior.
But see, it's like that because you got guys, leaders, bringing the spirit of, well, we're nothing really bad. Because when you look at Sakari, you look at Genesis, you look at all IUIC, they're not in a mournful state.
Yeah.
If you watch their video, you think that everything is cool.
Right. We just doing this shit for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Like this is real life.
Yeah.
Your life is on the line, Jake. You gotta register that in your spirit. Your life is literally on the line. You are fighting for salvation. That is no small matter, man.
Niggas out here playing like their life is not at risk.
And it's beautiful that you brought out Exodus because think about how serious that judgment was about to take place.
Bro, that was, just imagine putting yourself back in that time, bro. That's scary as hell. Because you gotta imagine, amongst all those that were in the houses that put the blood on the post, you could hear the Egyptians crying. You could hear them being plagued, bro. And you was like, damn.
Right.
It's gonna be like that.
That shit ain't me.
Hey, better you than me.
Nah, bro.
And that's the spirit we're gonna be in that day, man. Because look, bro, niggas don't have an excuse. As long as wide range as this truth has become, Jake has they have no excuse on why you not getting yourself right with the Lord, bro.
Mm-hmm. They're making a conscious choice not to.
Like Scripture say, they're willfully ignorant. You know, which shows you that they don't have the mark. They don't have the Lord's mark.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta keep making that distinction.
Right. Gotta get this straight real quick.
You got it.
1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14. Going back, because the Elder Yashawamba had did a lesson on how the differing between the spiritual mark, which is that the Y, and the physical mark being the charagma, right? Now this is 1 Corinthians 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. You know, so they can't receive this spiritual thing, man, right? But they're gonna run to take that physical mark, that physical form of salvation. You know, they don't see the worth, the value in coming to serve Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, right? Because they're natural, they're carnally minded, man.
Right.
Ultimately, the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. All right, because as you're seeing, the Lord is pouring His Spirit upon those that He has chosen. He's called, loyal, and chosen, but it's obvious who the Lord is pouring His Spirit out on, man. Because look at the amount of videos brothers is doing, man. Look how brothers' spirits are growing at a fast pace, man. You know, like Scripture say, He's making us a quick understanding, man. Like it's we can feel like the Lord is leveling us up. That's why we're catching hell, and the hell is increasing, but it's making us stronger in the spirit as well, man. You know, because somebody get 2 Timothy 2:19, and then somebody else get 2 Corinthians 1 and 21, and read down to 22.
It says 2 Peter 2:19, correct?
Timothy 2:19.
2 Timothy 2:19.
Yeah, because I'll get this while you're getting that. This is Revelation 14 and 1. And it says, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. All right, and that's what we're seeing the Lord beginning to do, is gather up, all right, His elect unto Him, man. All right, and so when it's all said and done, okay, only one that's going to be left, especially from here in America, is the one that the Lord has, the one, man. All right, that has the Lord, his father's name and His name in their foreheads, man, in their spirit. Okay.
God. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 19. It says, nevertheless, the foundation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai standeth sure, having this seal, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai knoweth them that are His. And let everyone that nameth the name of Hamashiach depart from iniquity.
And that's the show forth for us to see who had that Tawak. Because those that are separating themselves from iniquity, those that are trying to repent and get right, man, that's who the Lord is seeing that has His name, man.
Yeah. All
right. So as it says, man, nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High standing sure, having this seal. As we're saying, the seal is the Tawak, man, the Spirit. Okay, the names of the Lord, but also the Spirit of the Lord, man. All right, going into prophecy, you trimming your lamps, man. You getting your house together because you understand what's at stake, man. It said the Lord knoweth them that are His, because as the scriptures say, man, none can pluck the elect out of the Lord's hand. All right, so from the foundation of the earth, all right, the elect has always belonged to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. So all what He's doing now is gathering them back, man. You gonna say something?
Okay, like the elder had made mention in his video, the Tha in the Wa resembles an X, and you put your signature next to the X, man. So all the elect have the Lord's signature within them, man. You know, proving that that they belong to Him from the beginning, man.
And it's funny because I heard Esau said something about like how he knows like Israel in general, all right, is their DNA and all that is written different. But it was like as far as like the chosen, like how the demons know who the elect is, Esau has been trying to figure that out. This is why he's always trying to take Jake's blood, because it's something about the Lord's chosen that He knows is different from the rest of the people, man. But it's not a physical thing; it's a spiritual thing that makes the elect different from the rest of Israel, man. Exactly. So at the end of the day, the seeing point for us, all right, is how we're trying to get right in the Lord's eyes, because all these Israelites on the planet, nobody's really trying to get right except for the elect, man.
Right.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 21.
Oh, it's like 2 Corinthians.
It's like I just said it wrong.
Okay,
2 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 21. Now He which establisheth us with you in Hamashiach, and hath anointed us in His power, you have also sealed us and given the earnest of the Spirit in our hearts.
Right, and that's due to the men the Lord has set up to bring us back unto you. How about Shemashah? As you mentioned earlier, the ambassadors, we have all stepped into that role, and the Lord is using us to pretty much bring, the rest of the elect back into the fold, man. Okay? Because how are you anointed? You're anointed by the word, man. You're washed by the word, man. So that you're being anointed, all right, once the Spirit comes upon you and you wake up to who you are, man, and you start calling on the holy names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
That's that unction.
That's it.
Right. I'm going to read this in the NLT.
Mm-hmm.
It says, 2 Corinthians 1:21, it is the Most High who enables us, along with you, to stand firm for Hamashiach. He has commissioned us, and he has identified us as his own by placing the Holy Spirit in our hearts as the first installment that guarantees everything he has promised us.
That's right. You got it.
God, so that's the why, man, right? That he is that identifier of the elect, man, that he put in the hearts and the minds of his chosen, So that's why you see, more and more believers being activated, right, in these times. And it's going to happen even, like brothers have made mention of the 11th hour, believers, man, right? It's going to happen, they're going to hear the word. They're going to see the miracles take place, man. They're going to see various deliverances from circumstances and will believe, man, and it's because that was already inside them to do so.
Exactly. He's just drawing it out. This is why I believe what the word edify, educate means to draw out, man. So as we're educating our people of our culture, of our doctrine, our history is drawing out, the Spirit of the Lord, from them. And just as we're seeing it, these devils are seeing it too. This is why they're about to roll with such fervency, man. Real quick, this is Isaiah 10:20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth.
And that's, like you said, these devils are seeing that as well. Brothers always say the greatest threat to Edomite supremacy is a repentant Israelite.
That's it.
Because these individuals that are turning back to the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, they reformed their minds, they repented.
Right.
They're not leaning upon Esau, Edom as their source of truth or strength, but they're leaning on Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for the want of all things.
Right, and that's what you said. That's the greatest threat to Edomite supremacy, because the main problem that they have with the New World Order is the elect.
Yeah.
Because through us, Lord willing, well that number, we're waking up everybody, not just our people, but Edomites are becoming hip to what's going on, the rest of the heathen. So that causes a problem for them.
Right.
And this is why they're, like I said, they're about to come down with that wrath. But the main focus is our people, all right, are turning back to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Continuing on verse 21.
If I can make a point real quick, Chris. Like the brother I may mention, this is the only threat to Esau's power structure. And, they're not afraid of being exposed. They're afraid of being exposed and then seeing an answer to be given, right? A way to escape, to the other side, man. That's why when these strongholds are being torn down, they might push for that, man, right? They allow these things to come out. But then when they see another stronghold and righteousness being built outside of their stronghold, that's where they have a problem with, man. Because there's a lot of truthers out here who say similar things to what we say, but they don't get the same vitriol as the prophets do, man.
I was literally about to say that. Exactly. That's the spirit. There's no solution to what they're talking about, because you can expose, but that's the problem with a lot of the movements out here, the red pill and all this different. There's no solution. You're exposing the problem, like you always talk about. You talk about the fruit of the problem, but you won't go to the root.
Right.
And so the root of our the solution for us is turn back to the Lord. It's simple.
It's in the root of it.
But Jake wants to do all this extra whatever. Like, no, bro. It's simple. Repent.
But that's you oftentimes quote Psalms 127, right? The Lord isn't building that.
Exactly.
This is what the Lord has intended to build. He has intended to have the small sanctuary set up across the four winds to push forth the truth, to push forth the solution. Right? Mark 1:15, right? To repent and believe in the gospel.
Right.
Simple.
Because see, the issue with a lot of these people, they'll hear what we're saying, they believe it, but then when it comes down to, like I said, the faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they just can't get with that part because, as you may mention last night, faith is a gift that was only given to a select number of people on the earth. That's not freely given unto everybody on this planet, man. So that's why, like, I always think back to that example that I talked to with that lady from camp, and she was asking about the whole, seabed situation, and she was like, "What should I do?" And y'all was like, "Have faith," and she was like, "What? Is that it?" That's it for us, because we understand the significance of what that is, because we have hope. Because faith and hope is synonymous.
Man, can I get that for you?
You got it.
Can I get this slide?
Yeah, whoever, brother, y'all got it, bro. Spirit, it's the spirit.
This Sirach, I think. Yep, the Sirach chapter 1 and verse 14. It says, "To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb." Right. So it was given those spirits as soon as that spirit was put inside your body, man. Right. Your father and your mother consummated, and that spirit came down. That faith, that fear of the Lord was put inside of you, man. It was just being, it had to be activated. It had to hear the right frequency. It had to hear the song, right? It had to hear the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the correct delivery, So it had to hear this, and it activated you, but it was already inside you, man.
Right. Heavy. God, I got something for you, priest. This is Hebrews 11 and 1 in the NLT. It says, "Faith is the confidence that what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us assurance about things we cannot see."
You got this, like, I'm for precept.
And that's exactly what we see. Like, as the brother priest had, made mention of a time where a woman had came up to the camp and she was inquiring about how to deal with, the CVID, right? Because as we saw, CVID was just a precursor to the MOTB, right? It was a pop quiz. It tested a lot of people's integrity. It tested a lot of people's faith, But the household of faith, right? They are going to continue in the way because it gives us the assurance of what we know will come to pass. Mm-hmm. The word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as it tells us in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, is faithful and true. Exactly. Look, we have numerous examples, brothers, going to the secular history that links up with the scriptures of our foreparents. And it's like, if the Lord did it then, what about now?
Right.
We believe, right?
That assurance, that word assure goes into the removal of doubt, So when you believe, you have nothing to worry about, man. You really don't have any care, in this life, because the Lord has all these things predestinated, man. Yep. Right? We just maintain, what we need to maintain. But when shit hits the fan for real, we understand that the Lord has all these things taken care of, man.
Exactly. But like you said, man, all these things can be said, but if they're not of the elect, if that's not in them, like you said, from the beginning, from before their spirit even came onto the earth, they're not going to get it. And that's the thing that makes this truth so heavy. Is like, look, man, the fact the Lord has given us the spirit to be able to hear it and retain it and to believe in it, that's no light thing, man. Because like we said, we see all these dead Israelites out here that's faking like they got it. But
they got the skin.
When reality hits home and they see that, I ain't got it.
No brainer.
That's when the reality is going to hit. That's going to be scary for them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to see it all this time they was bullshitting. They have no covering. And that's what's going to make them run down to Esau and get that mark of the beast, man.
Exactly.
God damn.
Real quick, this is, feeding off what you said, Quantum. This is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Hamashiach Yahushua. Grace unto you, and peace be multiplied. So the point being, as it said, the elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh the Father, all right, because we know the elect was predestined from the beginning, from the foundation of the earth. It says through the sanctification of the Spirit, which you read earlier, Revelation 7, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Hamashiach Yahushua. So just tying everything we've been talking about this whole lesson with this one precept. It shows you, look, the elect are going to have that mark of exemption, that dua, man. All right? And this is what we are continually fighting to retain, man.
God.
You know?
God. I'm going to get that in the NLT for you,
You
Chris.
got it?
So 1 Peter 1 and 2, it reads, the power, the Father, knew you and chose you long ago. And his Spirit has made you holy. As a result, you have obeyed him and have been cleansed by the blood of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
Yeah, because when we heard the promise, it's like that literally gives us something to work towards, man. Like it says in Proverbs, where there is no vision, the people perish, but happy is he that keepeth the law. Because we understand that these works are going to lead to something that we're going to benefit from, and that all starts with salvation. The protection from the plague the Lord sending. That's the beginning of you casting out your spiritual treasure. When you read Matthew, what's that, the 6th chapter? These are 6 and 4. I can't remember the one. I think it's 4. About storing up your treasures in heaven. That's where it begins to cash out at, man. All right, is the protection throughout Jacob's trouble, leading all the way up until being delivered in that chariot, man.
Yeah, there's stipulations associated with you investing into Yahweh Shinal Shai. There's perks and benefits when you become a stockholder. When you have a stockholder, when you make an investment into a business, you have part ownership of that stock. So that entails certain benefits that comes with purchasing that. You're a part of the ownership of the business. Right? And that's what the Lord has given unto us. He's given us each a talent to have a stake in the ownership of the business.
Think of that.
And
that's why he said what? When he comes back, man, you bring him what he gave you. He said, I'm gonna give you, so and so cities. You're gonna have, just brothers that know, the parable. But you're gonna be rewarded, and then some.
Right. But feeding off of what you said about those treasures, we're gonna tap into those treasures on this side.
Yes.
Spiritual
power. And most importantly, protection. Which spiritual power is going to be a form of that protection, man. Angels walking with you. And they're gonna show themselves, man.
Brother, you made the point about the ability to retain this word.
That's
the gift of retention.
Yes.
Because let's be real, these fucking devices right here have scatterbrained Jake's mind beyond repair.
Yeah.
So the fact that brothers can, retain precepts and flow in the spirit and be able to remember the understanding and breakdown of the truth is all the Holy Spirit.
To apply them in the situations where they need to be applied at. That's in itself spiritual power. Exactly. Because when you get put in a situation, precept just come like that. The Lord said, do this. You do it, and you get out the situation, man. We're practicing doing that now. So when it comes down to the time to where we need to apply it, it's going to be second nature. That's why the scriptures always talk about walking in the spirit. This is practice. So when we get into that point, like you said, a lot of these Jakes ain't going to be able to retain that. So when it gets down to it and they put in a situation, they could have read Isaiah 33:6 a million times and then go and fuck up and get that chip, man. Because they didn't really believe in the word because it really wasn't in them. They weren't given the Tawah, man. Exactly. If you ain't got the Tawah, you're going to be literally out there with no hedge. And the only thing you're going to think of to save yourself is going down there and getting that chip, man. Because when things get bad, as we said, man, Esau's seeing. He's seeing souls waking up, man. He's seeing Yahweh Shem Shai being magnified more and more. So he's pushing this shit to where this is why you're seeing, this situation dealing with the economic, the economy. They're I always get direction. Are they lowering interest rates?
I don't think Jerome Powell's Jerome Powell is the Fed chair, the Federal Reserve chair. I don't think that they actually came out with that report yet. I think it's gonna happen on the 13th. Not the 13th, but yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Either way, them if they do lower it, that's worse off for the country. Them putting pretty much putting this man-made famine into effect more and more. All these things that we're seeing taking place in the news, these school shootings, which is them trying to take the guns away. These are all going to affect the people more than what they realize. So when these things come down, when the chickens come home to roost, Jacob's going to see the significance of why this truth should be taken serious. And if you weren't doing it then, you're not going to do it now. You know, so this is why we're so pressed about harping on you understanding the significance of what this truth is about, man. Because it's easy to say what you won't do until you're put in that situation.
Exactly.
All right? Can we get Revelation 13 and 15 down to 18, and then I'll read this while you get that. This is Matthew 16 and 25. It says, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it." All right, and all those that's going to try to save their lives, okay, are those that don't have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai as that fortress for them to run into, man.
God.
All right, and so because of that, when all their liberties are taken away, they're going to look for a way to save themselves, and that's what's going to cause them to take the mark of the beast, man. And they're going to die a grievous death because you didn't make the Lord your refuge. You know, but
the scriptures speak about, you know, woe unto you if you make man your strength, roughly paraphrasing. That's what that is.
Yep. Yeah, it said, "Whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it." And we been gave our lives up the moment we came into this truth. So we're dead to this world already. So once Esau crashed this shit, hey, the Lord said it's time to detach. So the cares of this life, we don't give a fuck about this no more.
Look at the plight of our people in the world.
Right.
Like, these niggas are disenfranchised and have no hope at all. What do we lose?
All avenues of life are done.
Yeah.
Literally. Anything that our people put their hand to as an escape is done. All manners of you trying to make it, get your money, that's done. You trying to build a stronghold for your family, that's done.
Man and woman,
done.
They talking about chromosomes, Y chromosomes, done.
Oh, man.
You trying to bring children in the world, done.
Cooked.
Niggas can't even be fertile.
Man.
Women ain't fertile. It's like, yo,
STI, STDs.
It's bad out here, bro. So what is there to hold on to outside of this truth?
Man,
That's it, man.
Because Esau he's taking everything away from you, which really is the Lord.
Yeah.
But Esau is being used to take everything from you to where, like I said, you're gonna have to pick a side. Because you got a lot of Israelites acting like they with it, but they straddling the fence.
You're right.
You got that.
That's it. So Revelation 13 and verse 15, it reads, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed."
Right, we know that image of the beast is talking about that Roman infrastructure, which we know is the New World Order. All right, what they're bringing in to where you're pretty much going to have to bend and make Esau your God if you want to be able to continue to live life on this earth. All right, and so it says, "And as many as was not worship the image of the beast should be killed," because we, you know, that goes two ways. Killed as far as you actually being cut out from society, or being physically killed, because as we know, according to I think it's Revelation 20, where it's the being beheaded.
Get it for you right quick.
Tropical shot. So either way, so either you're gonna physically lose your life, where your spirit is gonna leave this body, or you're gonna be cut out from society and you're gonna technically be killed, man.
Right. Because that word "killed" pretty much means to deprive of life.
See?
You know, so they're gonna deprive you of all the necessary things to exist. You know, if you don't play along with their game, man.
Right, which is why what we keep harping on, this is why you have to have Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai as your refuge. Because when you understand the spirit and why everything is like it is, it's because the Lord is in control. So when this man takes away all your civil liberties, your human rights, we understand that, look, this nigga ain't really doing nothing. It's the Lord.
Exactly.
So you could act like you God and all that, but we know who's the true power, man.
Right.
You know that.
Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4, it says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands.
Right, that karagma, man. All right, because you're gonna have the spirit the Lord has reserved not to take it. Matter of fact, get Revelation 3:10 to add to that.
Come on.
So Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Right, so the Lord has, he's gonna have a spirit on, the elect out there not to take that karagma, man. All right, that's sanctioned. All right, that's written. So we know that whoever that is on the earth, his spirit the Lord has reserved not to bow the knee, man. Okay? Because just add to that one more time before we go back to that Revelation. Romans 11:4. But what saith the answer of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. So these spirits, Lord willing, were of that number. All right, the Lord is going to put a spirit on to resist until the end. Okay? So even when threatened with death, we're not going to buckle, man. Okay?
Hey, going back to this 2 Corinthians 1 and 21 in the NLT, or 22, it said he identified us by placing the Holy Spirit in our hearts.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Read that
That's
again.
the identification.
Yo, bring that back one time.
So it's like for 2 Corinthians 1 and 22 in the NLT, it says, and he has identified us as his own by placing the Holy Spirit in our hearts. That's the
but
man,
brothers always talk about, when you deal with a woman, you put your spirit on that woman.
Yeah.
And she becomes an extension of you. That's how the Lord is dealing with his elect.
Because we're his wife.
Right.
He's our husband.
Man.
All right, and so he's bringing us. We're espoused to him. He's bringing us back, man.
What does the scripture say? In KJV, when it talks about sex, it says that you knew that person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You identify something. You know it.
You're intimate with them.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Hey, even going back to that, because we had brought it out previously, but that what was it, 1 Peter 1 and 2? Because when you read that in the NLT, it says something similar. It says, the Most High, the Father, knew you and chose you long ago, and his Spirit has made you holy. As a result, you have obeyed him and have been cleansed by the blood of Yahweh HaMashiach. Yeah. But like I said, as a result of him putting his Spirit in you from time before, that's the reason why you're obeying now. So when you go back to that Revelation 3 and 10, right, and you go into those who stood so stiffly, all the scriptures about those who, like you read Romans 4?
Mm-hmm.
All these scriptures that talk about those who stood against this beast system, those who spoke up against this beast system and then ultimately refused to take this device, that spirit was put in them from the beginning, man. And that's why they're continuing to obey, and that's why they're continuing to follow and believing after the blood of Yahweh Shai, man.
Because the elect, as you mentioned earlier, the elect has known Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua from the beginning. So what we have been, doing with this truth is the Lord has been, he's been getting intimate with us, man. Exactly. All right, when you go into that word intimate, it means closely acquainted, very familiar, also inmost, intrinsic. All right, to make known, to announce, to impress. And that's what we're doing amongst us doing this work, man, is trying to reciprocate, the intimacy that the Lord has shown us, man.
Hey, be impressed. He put that stamp, that seal of approval, upon the elect, man.
That's right. So at the end of the day, man, the elect ain't gonna take that karagma.
That's right.
All right, because Jake wants to play with that word mark whenever this verse comes out in Revelation 13 and 16. So we wanted to bring this lesson out to show you that it's not the mark that's spoken about as far as the Lord's mark versus Esau's mark is not the same thing, man. Okay, the spiritual mark is what's going to lead to us being delivered and saved. That physical mark, that karagma, is going to lead to you being destroyed, man. Okay?
You want me to finish that up?
Yeah, we'll finish that and we'll close it.
Okay. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right, and as we know, that word mark goes into charagma, all right, which means to pretty much, to stab, all right? And just to go further into it, that you go into the root word of that is karax, and then you got grapho. All indicators let you know that's a physical mark, which we know as the RFID chip, man.
That's right.
You can't get around it. And if you take that mark, that physical mark, you will die.
Yep.
Point blank period, man.
Revelations 14, 9 through 10.
That's right.
It gives you the vision that John saw of those that took that device.
That's right. And that's the reason why that judgment is so severe, because the physical mark is you telling the Lord that, look, Esau's my master. I chose him over you.
Right.
And we know the Lord is a jealous power. So he was like, all right, you gonna choose him? Well, you're gonna die with him, man.
That's it. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
And you gotta think, Jake. You can even go into the commentary of David Guzik, and it touches on the aspect of buying and selling, and how this is a part of this new age.
Right.
You even look up this lady, Pippa Milgren, I believe her name is how you pronounce her. But you can see her. She talks about how the economic order upends, or it pretty much sets the standard of a world order. She was saying how that we're at a unique stage in history where we're planning to replace the existing monetary system with a new one. What is the direction that we see the new monetary system going into?
Digital, which is all control, because he's trying to establish himself as God.
Yes.
But we understand that the only God that we serve is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right.
The one true power. And as been shown all throughout history, when you read the scriptures, the Lord always proved himself to be the one true God, man.
Con.
You know?
Revelation 13 and 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Right. 6 being the mark of man. So 666. Chi, Psi, Stigma, man. All points to that microchip, man. Okay? So, like I said, if you are of the elect, you will not take that karagma, man. All right? Because we have the Thawa, Lord willing, man. Okay? But anything else? All right, so Lord willing, man, this lesson was edifying. All right, we're going to close out. All right, as we see the Day of Atonement is coming to a close. So, hey, brother, just come out of this high holy day, with your spirit charged, man, and continue to push forward, man, to the end. All right? So, Lord willing, we'll be back with another lesson, soon. So, with that, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakah, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and rule well. And peace and salutation to the elect. Until next time, we say shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.